Top tips for remote working securely. The necessity of working from home is becoming a reality for many workforce members that may not have had this access before. While remote working offers many benefits to employees, many more risks appear as cybercriminals prey on the lax security protocols of a remote worker. It is critical that we, as employees, treat this access as a privilege, making security our top concern. Here are some tips on how to securely work remotely. Follow your organization's remote access policy. Before you begin working remotely, make sure you understand what is expected of you when it comes to this access. Your organization's remote access policy will lay out the requirements you should be adhering to during your remote sessions. Only use company-approved devices. If your organization provides you with a laptop, smartphone, or tablet to be used remotely, only use that device. If you were not issued a device, make sure that your organization knows the primary device you will be using at home, and have them make sure you are set up with the appropriate security controls. Never use a device that is not approved by the organization. Be extra cautious with phishing emails. Cybercriminals are ramping up their malicious activity and aiming directly at employees working remotely. Because the remote devices you may be using may not have the same security controls as the devices within the office, you must be extra diligent in avoiding phishing emails and malicious websites. Double-check the sender and use caution with any links or attachments in emails you are being sent. If an email requests transferring money or purchasing gift cards, verify the request with your supervisor by phone. If you think you may have clicked or opened something you shouldn't have, contact your security officer or IT immediately. Watch out for phone scams. Phone scams can come in many different forms and can occur on personal phones or company-issued devices. Beware of the common technical support scams or general imposter scams, where a criminal pretends to be someone they are not. Practice discretion when you receive an unanticipated phone call, and never provide sensitive information or access to your computer unless you know with certainty who you are talking to. Practice safe browsing habits on your device, and only visit websites that are applicable to your work. Avoid using social media sites on work devices, even after hours, and avoid sharing any company-specific details on your social feed. Never download any unauthorized applications or programs onto your device without getting authorization from your supervisor first. These relaxed security controls increase the chance of getting a computer virus. Create a secure at-home office environment. To ensure remote working success, take time to create a secure environment that is conducive to productivity. Never allow family members or friends to use your work computer or device. Practice physical security, such as locking up or securely storing paper files or devices when not in use. If you need to travel with your device, make sure the device is protected and locked up during transportation. These physical protections will limit the likelihood of device theft that could initiate a major breach. Connect securely. When accessing information remotely, wireless security should be a top priority. Make sure that you update your Wi-Fi router passwords to a secure passphrase. Don't stick with the password that the router came set with. Enable WPA2 or higher encryption on the router. Use a VPN connection whenever possible, and never connect to company data via public Wi-Fi. Talk with IT if you are unsure of how to set up any of these items. Ramp up your passwords. The remote access you are given is mainly controlled with a password. Failing to secure that password is like leaving the door wide open to your house when you're not home. Ensure that any password you are using to access these remote connections or cloud storage applications are unique passwords and as complex as possible. If you have the option, set up two-factor authentication for these critical access points to strengthen the security. Treat the remote workday like your typical workday in the office. Remote working can be challenging from a security level, but also from a social level, as you are missing some of the in-person connections you are used to. Use your company's secure communications platforms to chat with your colleagues and ask questions. Create a schedule for yourself that closely mimics your daily office routine and try to avoid as many distractions as possible. Lastly, ask questions. Don't be shy to ask a question about access to information, security, or general expectations when working remotely. Also, report any incidents or security concerns immediately to your supervisor or security officer. It is critical that any incident or suspected incident is reported as soon as possible to reduce its impact and spread. Working remotely should be treated as a privilege, and security must always be the top priority for all staff. All in all, many of the protections that have been outlined are the same practices you would observe within the physical office setting. So, when working remotely, treat your home office as your main workspace and apply the same security controls.